Hi, and welcome to Parent Ed Talk. I'm your host, Jamie Googans. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, and as usual, usually we're geared more towards parents and what parents are going through, but this video is geared towards parent educators. We're going to talk a little bit about parent education today. So, parent education is a tricky thing. And I'm not a parent educator myself yet, but I do have a lot of experience in the early childhood field. And I've worked extensively with families over the last probably close to 3 decades now. Yes, that makes me feel really old. Also, I'm a mom of 6, so I usually have people that ask me a lot of questions and naturally look to me as an authority figure. I'm definitely not perfect, but I do have some tips that I use when interacting with parents. The first thing that I will say is that one of the biggest things is to just be open and honest with families. I will share stories about my own kids and especially about things that I didn't do right when my kids were little and how I would do things differently now. Just the fact that they know that the person that is educating them is not perfect takes that level of vulnerability down, and they understand that I'm just a human being just like they are, and that's very helpful when you're dealing with parents, understanding that I'm not here to judge you, I'm here to help you. So to share that and to let them know I'm not perfect and I made a ton of mistakes in parenting my kids, that's huge. I think that helps really build that relationship, which is another key component, is building relationships with your parents and your families that you're dealing with. You're not, unless you gain their trust and unless you build that relationship and they believe that you honestly care about them and their family, that change is probably not going to happen. They're not going to be vulnerable. They're not going to be open. That's something that you have to work to build. Another big thing I always say is we're in this together. We're partnering. My job as a teacher is to help your kid learn, but you're part of that too. Like, we're working together on this. I'm right now an ECFE teacher. I'm the early childhood teacher. And so that's one of the things I tell my parents is, we're here to partner together to build each other up and help each other. So during that early childhood time when they're in the classroom with their child is a great time for me to model some of those behaviors, model some of those problem solving skills when, what do you do when your 2-year-old yanks a toy out of somebody else's hand? Like, how can you respond appropriately? And to just give them praise when you see them handling some of those situations appropriately. Like, wow, hey, I really like how you handled that situation with your child. I was just talking to a mom earlier today. She had pulled her daughter aside at drop-off and apologized for being harsh with her kid in the morning while she was getting ready. And at the end of the day, I told her, I said, I just want you to know that that's huge when you sit there and apologize to your child. Like, we're not going to be perfect. We all yell at our kids, but to humble yourself, to apologize to them and explain that you were wrong in doing that and ask them to forgive you is huge, huge. And I know that mom, where she felt cruddy that morning when she left, at the end of the day, felt more empowered because even though she wasn't perfect, she was still making a difference in her child's life. And so that's huge. We're not here to judge our parents. We're here to partner with them. And I use that word partner all the time with my families. I'm here to help you. We're here to, work on this together. I'm not doing anything to you. This is your choice. That relationship in parent education is key. I've had some tough situations over the last year, one involving, unfortunately, the death of one of my students. And it's been really, really tough for the family and for the mom. And if that means she's texting me at 10 o'clock at night just because she needs somebody to talk to, then that's what I'm going to do to help her get through that in that moment. If you really want to make a difference in parent education, especially with some of these families that are more difficult to reach, you have to be vulnerable with them and you have to put a lot out there. It's not going to be easy, but it can be super rewarding. I've seen some great things happen with some of my families. And like I said, I'm not a parent educator. I'm not just but I'm only an early childhood teacher right now. And if I can make the difference, I feel like when I'm a parent educator, I can really help make more of that difference. So I would just say build those relationships, build those parents up because they need it. They don't need somebody who's condemning them for yelling at their kid. They need somebody supporting them and saying, hey, but you did this, and this was awesome. So, yeah, so that's it. Like I said, I'm not perfect, just something I've picked up over the years. Take care out there. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.